Some of America's best-selling butters are up to 70% water. Number 1 on this list barely qualifies as food. Number 11 barely qualifies as butter. And the one sitting in your fridge right now? Probably somewhere in between. Here's the part that should really bother you. A few of these brands charge premium prices to pull this off. Every butter brand shows you the same thing. A calm dairy farm, soft yellow packaging, words like churned and pure. But there's a legal loophole hiding behind all of it. In the US, a product only needs 80% milk fat to legally call itself butter. That's the floor. Not a quality mark, just the minimum bar to use the word. Anything under that has to call itself something else. A spread, a blend, a buttery product. And that single rule is the reason half your grocery aisle isn't what it looks like. Today, I'm ranking 11 brands you should think twice about. Worst at the very end, a product that's 70% water and still dares to call itself food. Then I'll show you the 5 that are the real deal, from the best everyday pick to the single best jar you can buy. Every fact here comes straight from the ingredient label. Let's get into it. Clean packaging, California dairy branding, priced just under the premium stuff so you feel like you made a smart call. Here's what you actually bought. 80% milk fat. Exactly the legal minimum. Not a single point higher. That's not an accident. That's a cost decision dressed up as a quality one. You feel it the second you try to spread it cold. It doesn't glide, it drags. Maximum moisture, minimum fat. That's what that resistance is telling you. The flavor matches. Nothing offensive, but nothing there either. It tastes like the memory of butter. And the unsalted version is marketed specifically for baking. Try it in a batch of butter cookies, and the result is flat and forgettable because butter is supposed to be the star of that recipe, not a placeholder. Minimum price, minimum product, and it only gets more serious from here. Breakstones has made butter in upstate New York since 1881. And for decades, it held a title nobody else could touch. The only certified kosher butter on the market. That certification is real, and it matters to a lot of shoppers. But kosher status tells you nothing about flavor or what the cows were fed, and Breakstone's unsalted butter makes that gap obvious fast. It's one of the palest butters on any shelf, barely a hint of yellow. That's not cosmetic. Grass-fed cows produce milk rich in beta-carotene, which gives real butter its golden color. Near white butter is a signal. These cows are grain-fed, and grain-fed milk makes blander butter. Then there's the weird part. You bite into unsalted butter, and it's tangy. Where's that coming from? Buried in the ingredients. Natural flavors. No further detail required by law. Brands don't have to tell you what that actually is. So instead of clean butter flavor, you get a mystery additive doing something your taste buds never asked for. Breakstones owns its corner of the kosher aisle because there's barely any competition there. Outside that lane, there's not much reason to reach for it. $3.36 a pound, USDA Grade A. On paper, this looks like the budget win of the century. Then you learn about RBST, a synthetic growth hormone injected into cows to force higher milk production than their bodies naturally allow. The EU banned it, Canada banned it, Australia banned it, the UK banned it. Why? It's directly linked to mastitis, a painful udder infection, and to lameness in cows. Most of the developed world decided the extra yield wasn't worth the animal suffering. In the US, it's still legal, and Great Value butter carries no RBST-free guarantee. Here's the detail that really gets me. Pick up Great Value milk at the same Walmart, and it proudly says, "No RBST," right on the label. Same store, same brand. Two completely different standards, one aisle apart. A shopper who carefully picks the RBST-free milk might grab the butter right next to it, without realizing it was made under entirely different rules. And if you go for the Great Value spread with canola oil, there's another catch. Added beta-carotene and canola oil dull the flavor and leave an artificial aftertaste. Consumers have also reported opening supposedly 15-ounce tubs to find closer to 11 ounces of actual product inside. The rest? Air. You're paying for packaging as much as food. Over 160 million units sold every year. Land O'Lakes dominates the category, and the core butter genuinely does its job. This one's more complicated than a flat avoid. The canola blends are popular for a real reason. Regular butter is hard to spread cold, and these stay soft straight from the fridge. That convenience is legitimate. But the canola oil used is GMO-derived and refined using hexane, an industrial chemical solvent. Experts say only trace amounts survive into the final product, and there's no evidence of acute harm from a single use. The real issue is that nobody has studied what years of low-level daily hexane exposure actually does. We just don't know, and that's exactly the part the label leaves out. Then there's the light butter canola blend. Check the ingredients. Modified food starch, tapioca maltodextrin, mono and diglycerides, PGPR, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, natural flavor, xanthan gum, beta-carotene. Real butter has 2 ingredients, cream and salt. This has fewer calories, sure. What it doesn't advertise is what filled that gap. A long list of additives linked to blood sugar spikes and digestive discomfort. Fewer calories isn't automatically a better product. This one's positioned as the healthy swap. Real yogurt, 0% trans fat, clean, minimal design. If you're trying to eat smarter, this looks like the obvious upgrade from regular butter. It isn't. Printed right on the tub, in text, most people scroll past. 35% vegetable oil spread. A spread? Legally, it can't claim either title, because both require at least 80% fat. And that yogurt the whole front label is built around? It's about 10% of the actual formula. The first 2 ingredients are purified water and soybean oil. Yogurt shows up after that, followed by palm oil and a list of additives. The ingredient doing all the marketing work is 10th in line behind stuff health-conscious shoppers usually try to avoid. You're buying a water and oil emulsion wearing a health halo. Give the marketing credit. It's brilliant and it works against you every time. Put the word butter in huge letters on the front, and that's what your brain locks onto. The "I can't believe it's not" part functions like invisible fine print, even sitting right there in plain view. Older packaging used to list 45% vegetable oils directly on the front. That number has quietly disappeared. What's left is a product built mostly on water and oil blends, and it tastes exactly like that. No richness because there's no cream. The real problem in this lineup, though, is the cooking spray. It got hit with a consumer lawsuit over its 0 calories per spray claim. The FDA allows that label if a single serving, legally defined as a fraction of a second spray, has under 5 calories. But nobody cooks using a fraction of a second. In real use, it adds up fast. The full bottle contains roughly 700 calories and 80 grams of fat. Consumers argued the 0-calorie claim was misleading given how people actually use it. It's also the only product on this list with artificial preservatives, a strange contrast to the natural image the brand pushes everywhere else. The name literally tells you it's not butter. It's just betting you won't fully register that. If you remember the 70s and 80s ads where the tub of spread talked and insisted it was butter, that jingle built an entire generation's false belief that Parquet was somehow equivalent to the real thing. It wasn't then. It isn't now. Parquet is built from soybean oil, palm kernel oil, and palm oil, held together with standard preservatives. The part worth pausing on is the flavoring. Natural and artificial flavors. No further specification. Artificial flavorings are often synthesized from petrochemical starting materials, not food. Nobody outside the company knows exactly which compounds are in there, and there's no long-term research tracking what years of regular consumption does. Then there's the Parquet squeeze bottle, liquid, made from soybean oil and hydrogenated cottonseed oil. Cotton is a textile crop, not a food crop, and it's one of the most heavily pesticide-treated crops in agriculture, using compounds developed for industrial use. Refining removes most residues, most, not necessarily all, and there's no rigorous long-term study on regular cottonseed oil consumption. Real butter never asks you to accept that uncertainty. Blue Bonnet started as an affordable alternative back when butter was a genuine luxury. Fair enough, that was a legitimate role once. That era's long gone. Today it's a 31% vegetable oil spread. Not margarine, not close to butter, not close to either category. Built on soybean, palm kernel, and palm oil, with 3 separate artificial preservatives plus artificial flavoring. Here's the part that matters more than people realize. For decades, Blue Bonnet contained partially hydrogenated soybean oil, the primary dietary source of industrial trans fats, directly and conclusively linked to cardiovascular disease. Not for a year or two, decades. The FDA eventually forced the entire food industry to reformulate, and Blue Bonnet only changed because it was legally required to. Now the brand markets itself as having less fat and cholesterol than butter. Technically true. What's left unsaid is what replaced those fats. A combination of artificial preservatives that can cause digestive issues, and in sensitive people, respiratory symptoms. One of them, sodium benzoate, has been linked in research to increased hyperactivity in children, a brand that sold a known cardiovascular risk for decades and only stopped when forced to. Tells you a lot about where quality sits on its priority list. This might be the most aggressive health pitch in the entire category. Heart-healthy fats, omega-3s, low trans fat. It reads like something a cardiologist helped design. Look closer, and it falls apart fast. Start with the 400 mg omega-3 claim printed boldly on the front. Most people hear omega-3 and think of the kind in fish, DHA and EPA, backed by real research on heart and brain health. What Smart Balance actually uses is ALA, a plant-based omega-3. These are not interchangeable. Your body converts ALA into DHA and EPA at a poor rate, and 400 mg isn't nearly enough to move the needle on heart health, even under ideal conditions. If you want omega-3s that actually do something, chia seeds, hemp seeds, or walnuts do it better for less money with no misleading label. And what is this product, really? Buttery spread is a legal category with zero requirement to contain any actual butter. Smart Balance runs about 64% vegetable oil, below even the 80% threshold required to call something margarine. Not margarine, not butter. A spread wrapped in health language that's technically accurate but practically misleading. Country Crock has a certain warmth to it. The barn illustration, the word churned, the implied heritage. It makes you feel like you're buying something wholesome. The ingredients tell a different story. Start with the plant-based lines because this brand has drawn real pushback from multiple directions. Consumers filed a class action lawsuit over the plant-based butter with olive oil. The argument being that olive oil is the whole selling point on the front of the package, but it's actually a small fraction of the formula. The bulk is cheaper oils: soybean, canola, palm kernel, and palm. Same structure applies to the avocado oil version. The premium ingredient exists mostly on the label, not in the tub. Separately, the American Butter Institute and the National Milk Producers Federation have filed formal FDA complaints over Country Crock using the word butter on products with no dairy in them at all. Butter is legally a dairy product. Plant-based oil blends aren't. It's hard to argue the labeling isn't misleading. As for the original tub that's been in fridges for generations, it's now a 38% vegetable oil spread, no longer margarine. And here's the detail that says everything about how this brand handles disclosure. That 38% number is printed in green ink on a green background. You'd have to be actively hunting for it. What actually grabs your eye is the barn and the word churned. Most of what's in that tub is water and oil. Imperial has existed in one form or another for decades, and every version has managed to disappoint. This current one is the clearest example of what happens when a brand stops even pretending. It's sold as a 27% vegetable oil spread. Read that again? 27%. At that level, this doesn't credibly qualify as a spread by any reasonable standard. It's nowhere near margarine, nowhere near butter. If there's a baseline for what counts as a legitimate product in this category, Imperial is operating underneath it. The price alone tells the story before you even read the label. $3.97 for a 45-ounce tub. Here's what that 27% fat number actually means. Roughly 70% of this product is purified water. No cream, no dairy at all. You are, quite literally, buying an emulsified mix of oil and water and spreading it on toast, and you can taste it. It lands flat on the tongue and leaves a greasy film that doesn't clear. Because there isn't enough fat content to bind the oil and water properly. It tastes like a product that costs $3.97 for 45 ounces, because that's exactly what it is. Now you know exactly what to avoid, but there's good news too. In the next video, I'm breaking down the 5 butter brands that actually get it right, ranked from solid everyday pick to the single best jar you can buy. Stay tuned for that one. And if you don't want to miss it, hit like and subscribe. That way the next video comes straight to you.